Single dad took a job nobody wanted, as a billionaire's driver, and lived the best days of his life. Ryan Cole had hit rock bottom. Once a respected paramedic, he was now working night shifts at a gas station, just to make ends meet. His wife had passed away 2 years ago, leaving him to raise their 7-year-old daughter, Lily, alone. Bills stacked up, and childcare costs left them with barely enough for groceries. One rainy Monday morning, Ryan sat in the job center, flipping through classified ads, when one headline stood out: full-time private driver wanted, high pay, discretion required, must start immediately. He asked the receptionist about it, and she raised an eyebrow. That job's been up for months. Nobody lasts more than a week. It's for her Camila Voss. Camila Voss, the reclusive, billionaire tech mogul, known for her ruthlessness in boardrooms and silence in public. Rumors swirled around her like storm clouds. She fired people without warning, hated being spoken to, and hadn't been seen smiling in years. Ryan had no other choice. He applied. Camilla's estate was a fortress, hidden behind iron gates and trimmed hedges. When Ryan pulled up in his borrowed suit, he half expected to be sent home, but she didn't even look at him during the brief interview. Her assistant handed him a contract and simply said, "You start tomorrow. Be punctual." The next morning, Ryan opened the door of the matte black Bentley for her. She didn't say thank you. She didn't even make eye contact. Every ride was silent, tense, cold, but Ryan was a patient man. He noticed the small details, the way she rubbed her temple when anxious, or the tiny silver locket she wore, always tucked under her blouse. Something about her loneliness mirrored his own. One Thursday, Lily had to come with him. Her sitter had canceled, and he couldn't afford to lose the job. He kept Lily in the front seat of the car while waiting outside Camilla's meeting. When Camila returned and saw the little girl drawing on a notepad, her cold exterior cracked just slightly. "She's your daughter?" she asked, her voice surprisingly soft. "Yes, ma'am." Camila knelt beside Lily and picked up the sketch. "That's a unicorn. Do you like unicorns?" Lily nodded. Camila smiled for the first time since Ryan had met her. "You have good taste." From that day forward, things changed. Camila started sitting in the front seat. She asked Ryan questions about Lily, about his late wife, about his dreams. One evening, after a long day, she invited both of them into her estate for dinner. It was awkward at first, but soon Lily had Camila laughing. Genuinely laughing. Ryan saw her differently now, not as a billionaire, but as a woman who had built walls after her own tragedy. Her younger sister had died in a car accident Camila blamed herself for. She never got close to anyone again, until now. Weeks turned to months. Camila made excuses to take longer drives. She sponsored Lily's school tuition without telling Ryan. Then, one night, as they stood outside the car watching Lily chase fireflies, Camila said softly, "You were never just a driver, Ryan." He looked at her. "You were the first person who treated me like a person, not a title. You didn't try to impress me. You just listened." Ryan chuckled. "I just needed a job." She turned to him, "And I needed someone to remind me what it felt like to be alive." A year later, Ryan no longer drove the Bentley. He sat beside Camila at charity galas, at tech summits, even on vacation with Lily in the French Alps. He had become more than a driver, more than a friend. He had become family, and though he never expected it, taking the job nobody wanted turned into the blessing he never knew he needed. He once took the wheel with an empty heart. Now he had a full life, and someone to share it with. Life didn't change overnight, but it did change. Ryan moved into the guest house on Camila's estate not because she asked, but because Lily's school was now 5 minutes away, and the long commute was wearing them out. Camila claimed it was practical. Lily said it was the best thing ever. They had dinner together most nights. At first, Ryan kept things professional, even distant. He didn't want to confuse kindness with something more. But Camila never treated him like an employee. She valued his opinions, asked for advice, and never once looked down on him. One night, after tucking Lily into bed, Ryan found Camila on the back porch, barefoot, sipping tea. "I used to sit out here and cry," she admitted quietly. He said nothing, just sat beside her. "Now I sit here and smile." They didn't need to say anything more, of course not. Everyone liked the change. Some of Camila's business associates whispered behind closed doors. "Why him?" they asked. "He's just a driver with a kid. She's a billionaire." Her personal assistant, Warren, who had managed Camila's life for over a decade, grew resentful. He had always controlled the inner circle until Ryan appeared. Camila listened to Ryan more now. She smiled more, and Warren didn't like that. One day Ryan overheard him talking to a board member. "He's manipulating her, playing the single dad sympathy card. She's blind to it." Ryan didn't confront him. He didn't need to. Camila saw the shift too. She dismissed Warren 2 weeks later. "I need people around me I can trust," she said. "You've earned that, Ryan." Lily's 8th birthday came around, and Ryan planned a modest celebration: pizza, cupcakes, a few friends from school. But when Lily came home that day, she was met with a surprise. The backyard had been transformed into a fairy tale wonderland. Unicorn balloons, a mini petting zoo, fairy lights twinkling through the trees, and even a live appearance from her favorite storybook character. Ryan was stunned. "Camila, you didn't have to do all this." She smiled at him, brushing her hand against his. "I wanted to." It was the first time Ryan looked at her not as his boss, not even as a friend, but as someone who might just be part of their future. But no good story comes without conflict. A tabloid photo surfaced of Ryan and Camila at Lily's birthday party, her hand resting gently on his back. The headline read, "Reclusive Tech Queen Falls for Her Driver." It went viral. Investors panicked. Shareholders demanded a response. Reporters camped outside the estate. Camila called an emergency press conference. Ryan was terrified. He thought it was over, that she'd have to let him go to protect her empire. But she stepped up to the podium and said, "Yes, I'm seeing someone, and he's not just a driver. He's a father, a hero, a man of integrity. And if you can't respect that, feel free to sell your shares." It made headlines again, this time for all the right reasons. They weren't in a rush. There were no grand declarations, no fairy tale kisses under fireworks, just quiet moments that mattered, like the night Camila gave Ryan a key to the main house, or the night Lily said, "Daddy, can we keep her forever?" Or the evening Camila leaned on his shoulder and whispered, "You've given me everything I thought I'd never have." And one morning, while sipping coffee on the porch, Camila handed him a box. Inside wasn't a ring. It was a hand-drawn picture Lily had made, all three of them holding hands under a rainbow. "I think we already have what matters," she said. Ryan smiled. "Yeah, we really do." Years later, when Ryan was asked how he met Camila Voss, he'd laugh. "I just answered a job nobody wanted." But what he really meant was, he showed up when she was at her lowest. She opened up when she didn't think she could. And together with patience, love, and one little girl who believed in magic, they built a life that no billionaire could ever buy. The kind of life that turned quiet drives into unforgettable journeys, and ordinary men into something extraordinary.